Fam, welcome along to episode number 27 of the D.M.C podcast with your hosts, myself, Adam Rigby, and the force is strong with this one. He's Cody Hunter. Mr. Cody Hunter, how are you, my bro?
Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. It's been a good week, eh? So it's obviously a bit later in the week for recording for this, which is from normal, but that's down to the fact that my schedule has been totally revamped, and I'm actually been very busy this week, which has been great. New job kicked off, so I'm 1 week into the new position with Life Fitness, which has been amazing. So it's just been really much, getting my head around all that. So I've just been so busy, mate. I've actually been doing a 9-to-5er.
Wowzers. Does that mean we're officially sponsored by Life Fitness?
Mate, we're going to have to be, aren't we? I think
I'm
eyeing up treadmills, spin bikes. Yeah, mate, it's the catalogs and the gear is obviously amazing. So every time I'm just walking into not walking into space, because we haven't really quite done that yet. But yeah, mate, it's good stuff. So yeah, it's exciting times, mate. It's exciting times. It just means that schedules are a bit new, so we're going to adjust a few things, but it's been good.
More plates, more dates, bro. More plates, more dates. So cheers to that. Yeah, a super busy week, but man, I love being busy, eh? I really love being busy, especially times like these. We're fortunate enough, obviously, in our part of New Zealand that we have got a little bit of freedom. We've gone to level 3, which basically means we can stay at home, but we can get takeaways. So it is actually a dangerous time. We enjoyed some deluxe Thai food last night from our local takeaway, the Click and Collect, which was divine. Nice not to cook, even better not to clean up so much. But good little time with the fam bam, a little bit of a mini celebration. The hope is that the rest of the country is behaving. It's been chaos though, eh? It's been a bit of a chaotic week out there with people escaping, running around the country. Obviously a shooting in Auckland, which is horrific. So yeah, the world's still a mad place, coupled with the fact that a lot of us are trying to stay sane, locked behind 4 walls and doing the best we can. So peace, love and harmony to those out there who are actually locked up and are struggling. We feel you. Remember why we're doing this. It's that freedom. And man, talk about freedom, bro. We're going to get out there today, aren't we? Because the sun is shining. The sun is shining.
Oh, mate, it's a beautiful day down here in Christchurch too, eh? So we got out early, got a big walk on with everybody, get everyone busy, and just get that sunlight, eh? Like, you just got to do it. And it's real easy to get lazier, like we said, and just sort of sit around. But I do feel for those who have to sort of isolate and sit around by themselves, eh? Or with even just one roommate. Like, having kids is, like I said in the last during the last lockdown as well, it's kind of like, sure, it's stressful and they're all over the place, but mate, you've got company all the time, you've got hugs all the time, you've got things to do. It takes your mind off the fact that you're kind of locked up a bit. So I'm real grateful for that. And I know that if I was sitting at home alone, mate, and having to sort of do that, mate, I know that would not be good. And I do feel for those that have to do it that way, because that would be tough. That would be real tough.
Yeah, you've got to try and maximize the opportunities that are presented to you. So if you are alone, you just have to try and make the most of it, do the best of it. And we are fortunate with technology that you can reach out to people and chat to them remotely. I know it's not the same as having a hug or a kiss or a cuddle, but you've got to make do. And as many have discovered, sometimes that solo time alone is actually super valuable. It's really uncomfortable to start, but then you get used to it. And I think there's a transition, when you have that solo time, when you're spending time with yourself, working out a whole heap of stuff, running through a whole lot of stuff in your mind, transitioning back to real life, where there are people and there are conversations. And the conversations become more external than internal, but we're just adjusting. For me, this lockdown has been incredible in a lot of ways. A lot of stuff happening, such positive stuff happening. It's blown my mind, like blown my mind with what's happening at the moment for my little family unit. For me personally, a lot of stuff that's happening, which is super cool. Something that I've been working towards for a long, long time has come into fruition. An opportunity presented itself, which more details will come when we can spill the tea. But yeah, mind blowing. But one thing I think is funny about lockdown, how normal has now become so spectacular. You know,
I know.
some of those little things that we do day in, day out that we take for granted, the little things that we term normal, part of our life, are now treasured. And there's so much triumph in the fact that we can get out for a walk. Some things that we're doing way more passionately because it's the only thing we can do when they were so boring or mundane previously. And fuck me if we're not communicating, we're communicating again. People are craving connection, connection, which I think is amazing, because it's actually what we're designed to do anyway. Once the bullshit breaks down, you realize the purpose of being here to connect and enjoy each other's company and lift each other up. So there's some super cool stuff. But yeah, and I was thinking about this, like what we term as normal, and we do it all the time. We talked about it earlier, with for you going into a CrossFit gym and all your mates, you turn up and you do this unbelievable stuff, which is nuts to me. I watch the CrossFit community going hard, doing these things, which are incredible feats of physical and mental stamina, hurting themselves. And I'm like, you guys are flipping nuts. And that is your normal. And on the flip side of that, I have no issue, which is my normal, disappearing on a bicycle for 6 hours, climbing mountains, going downhill at 85 to 100 kilometers per hour on tires that are an inch thick. And that's my normal. And a lot of people out there think that is nuts. But isn't it wonderful how our own version of normal seems so sane to us, but to others, they think you're an absolute lunatic.
Oh, mate, it's a good one, name. I get
stuff. It's cool.
It's really cool. You get that one a lot, if you're an early riser, and you get, I had a mate of mine, one time, and I remember him questioning me. We were just having a dinner with some friends. He's like, "Mate, I wish I could have your schedule, And I'm like, "What's my schedule?" And he goes, "Mate, you train every day." I said, "Yeah, I wake up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning to have my schedule." I said, "You do have my schedule. It's just that you choose to stay in bed and sleep in and then wake up and go to work and find time a different time." But I was just like, that's my normal, right? And then to others, that's insane. I'm like, well, that's, and it is really cool. You got to figure out what works best for you in those regards. But mate, the new normal, that's definitely a key, like a new term that's been said a lot on the old during this sort of stage. It's like our new normal, and what's going to stay and stick from this, because obviously things are not going to go back to normal, to the old normal for a long time, if not some things forever. But yeah, crazy times, mate. You've got to really be adaptable, really adaptable.
There's some very good habits and very good practice that has come out of that. Some very good awareness of those around us and our own habits and practices, which I think is really, really positive. I got the opportunity on Friday, yesterday, to chat to our wider sales team, which was really, really nice, about energy, a lot of the stuff that we've been talking about, and the importance, not only professional in terms of presentation and those types of connections, but also safeguarding your own energy. And we chatted about it last week and the week prior about me monitoring my sleep to make sure I'm on my absolute best, and I'm still going through that, which is really interesting to do. Practices, simple, really, really basic, simple stuff that we go, yeah, I got it. But hydration, hydration is not just having a cup of water a day. We are supposed to drink a ton more than that. Nutrition, making sure our nutrition plan is sound and optimizes our performance. And you talked about it, the peaks and troughs through the day, recognizing when we're at our best. Movement is critical as well. Movement, just getting up and getting out and getting everything starting to flow. like revving the engine. Once the engine starts revving and moving and warms the body and just gets the spirits up. But also as part of this opportunity that's opened up, I've got a whole lot of reading that's come to me, and I'm reading a book currently about racism, actually. So it's deep, it's a complete zag to this motivational stuff. It's so you want to talk about race, and I've started that. I was reading through Legacy, but I chopped and changed very, very quick. But I've got a whole lot of other reading too, and a TED talk that was recommended as a link about body language, which I found fascinating as well. And the benefit of the power stance. And I went to try and explain this to my darling wife. She goes, yeah, this is, and she was into it. She knew that stuff. But the benefit of a power stance, and what I loved about that was it wasn't and again, we can go back many, many podcasts and say about the fake it till you make it. And this beautiful, articulate, intelligent young woman, her phrase was fake it till you become it. And the benefit of that energy in just a stance, a power stance, they call it the Wonder Woman or the Superman, whatever. I prefer Wonder Woman myself. Hands on hips, chest proud, and the impact of you doing that for 2 minutes they did tests in a lab just in terms of the difference it made in terms of your decision-making process and your confidence by doing a power stance. Unbelievable. So yeah, just picking up all these tidbits, reading different stuff, learning new things. That's my biggest habit. We talked about it again numerous times about reading. I was going to reach out to the viewers and listeners about what books do you recommend. Still, please send us recommendations of books. But yeah, this list of books that I've got, there's 5 books covering different facets of this learning process that I'll be going through. But yeah, I'm still the passion for learning, and especially the zag instead of the zig, not focusing on your wheelhouse where I feel comfortable. It's talking, the book about racism, going there is something, would I have read it in time? Yeah, but certainly reading that when I've been reading all this motivation and autobiographies, and yeah, it's really, really different. So loving the challenge and reading that as well. So you read anything at the moment, brother?
I am, bro. Actually, I went and I had some credits. So I've had a weird situation where I got locked out of my Amazon account, and I wasn't able to get it. So I could purchase through my app and everything, but I couldn't refund books that I didn't enjoy, which I love to do, and get more books. And so I don't even know how I got into it the other day. I actually finally got sorted and I got into it. So I returned three books I didn't want to keep in my file, 3 that I didn't really enjoy. And I got 3 books, mate. I went in there and I backlogged. I grabbed the Steve Jobs autobiography. So I'm actually on that. But that's about 22 hours of listening. And so that's my walking and listening book. But yeah, so talk about inspiring them, mate. Every time I listen to it, I just love it. It makes you just think outside the box, which is what he's all about, and think about ways to solve issues. And he was so onto it in the early days and what he wanted, the directions. It's cool, man. So I've got that there. And I've got the Love Languages book. We keep talking about this book and talking about that. And I've never actually listened to it or read it. So I've got that on there.
Okay. Yeah.
And actually there's one more, and I can't even, I mean, obviously I got them and I haven't gone back to them, so I'm doing this other one, but there were three titles. So yeah, just getting into something quite light during this stage while I'm on the walks, which has been good, eh? But yeah, I've got to remember what that last one was. But mate, yeah, again, like you, great opportunity, eh? If you're out walking all day, which is basically what we can do, man, it's good to consume some content. I actually got into a couple of really good podcasts as well. I know some people may have heard of him, but James Smith, he's an online coach, trainer guy. He's grown big time. He's got a couple of books now as well. But he has some really good podcasts and just good listening when you're walking, mate. That kind of a podcast. So I've really enjoyed that too, eh?
And in reference to podcasts, you and I have been discussing a lot, just getting some short, sharp information out there. We've got to really start to develop it as well. Some little motivators, some little tidbits, like the coffee table type chat stuff, fire some content out so you guys can digest it. If you have the time to go through the podcast solely and listen to us speak and have a conversation and see what comes out, because it's those little nuggets at time. So we're going to try and hone in on some nuggets for you and throw them straight out of the gate, straight out of the bow. So that's exciting. Yeah, bro. So I mean, this is the time for change. It's a time for celebration. It's a time for recognition. And again, people out there, give yourself some credit for where you're at in your life. I know that, you know, it's easy to look back and say, oh, you know, you're so lucky, or I'm so lucky to be here. You put yourself in a position or a situation to do what you're doing, to be where you're at, to be recognized in that way. Luck comes to those who put themselves out there to experience it, you know. So in situations, if you're having doubt, self-doubt is natural. It's kind of pre-programmed in us. Leave it behind, let it go, and just go after it. Go get it. These are the times, you know, where connection, again, is a tool that we can use moving forward. Celebrate the opportunity you get to mix and match with people. There are so many more opportunities, different opportunities, because of COVID. So, you know, on the flip side, we do complain about the freedom aspect of it, but it's way bigger than that. There are other opportunities opening up. Good to see a lot of businesses being able to trade again. I know the police in Wellington at one particular checkpoint stopped 626 vehicles going in and over a hill. They only turned 17 around. Couple of surfers that decided that a road trip was in order, you know, a 50k to the beach to hit the waves wasn't quite in the rules and regulations, and a couple of other people that were just out for a drive going spare. Be safe, be sensible, don't put a strain on the services, the police, ambulances, etc. Be considerate and courteous at all times. We've just got to bear that in mind. It's short term, right? It is short term.
We do feel for the ones like I was saying the other day to a mate, because you've got obviously all the things that can open, like your drive-through McDonald's and all the shit that is not really that important. But then you've got obviously our industry. You've got the gyms, the places that you know live and breathe health and wellness and fitness, and they can't obviously operate during level 3 because it just doesn't make sense. You can't distance, you can't do whatever. So yeah, I really feel for those gym owners, and people that can't do anything, and where, you know, other cafes can open up, like everything can sort of find a way to continue with business, but gyms do struggle. You know, you can continue with some online workouts and keep people engaged, but mate, yeah, it's a tough one for those, and you sort of got to feel for them. You can't really do a drive-through workout, sadly. And
it's people inside and outside of the organization, right? Because we know that instructors are a special breed, and they crave that connection, and as well, it's an important part. They're helping people, so they're finding ways to help people. And I think the gyms are better equipped now. They've got systems and processes to deal with this, whereas previously a lot of them were getting some pretty interesting feedback about the way it was dealt with. And now, you know, I can talk about my own experience with the gym that I go to. They have been phenomenal in the reach to the members and the instructors. And there was a lot of lessons learned from the first lockdown, and they have been applied to the second. So, you know, it's been, they're making every effort to make sure everybody is safe, secure, and keeping moving, keeping the habit, keeping the practice of staying healthy, whether it's mindfulness, whether it's that, you know, movement. Again, we'll go back to it. Movement is critical. Whatever you have the power to do, which is pretty much anything, let's face it, there are no excuses or limited excuses. Get up, get out. You know, we have people that are climbing the equivalent of Mount Everest in their own stairwells around the first lockdown. So that's 8,848 meters of elevation, which is a lot, which is about as high as aeroplanes fly. So You're going to be a special breed to do it, but it just shows you where there's a will, there is a way.
I have noticed that, bro. It's cool how people. So my younger brother, for an example, is he's an all or nothing kind of guy. So he'll go through stages where he gets in the ridiculous shape. He trains hard. He does everything really well, and then he goes the complete opposite side for another year or so, and then but this is actually, he's back in the game now more than ever. So I'm doing programming for him. He's actually following it. He's super active. He's outdoors. So whereas for me, like during this sort of stage, for me, walks with a weight vest is about the most intense I really get. I might do a 3K or a bit of a jog. I'm not a body weight guy. I hate doing push-ups in the garage. It's just so like I said before, I use this time to kind of reset my muscles and get everything nice and fired up. I cannot wait to get to the gym. Yeah. But I use it to invest in other areas of my health and wellness, and obviously sunlight, fresh air, walking, kids on bikes, whatever it is. Whereas others use it to like fire up the new habits again. And it's cool, mate. It's really cool to see everyone's different way to approach it. And I'm excited about some freedoms to get back in that gym, because that's home. That's home to me.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
But personally, I've used the time to detune a bit, just to get some rest and for the body to recover, because obviously with the surgery and everything that was going on there, and a couple of existing injuries, just allowing those to heal, to get back. So I'm ready to get back into some sort of structure again, which is fantastic. And again, milling through my mind, day one of a program is actually, in my mind, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, day one is the easiest day. Day one is the easiest day because you've already made the decision to front. You've already strapped the shoes on. You are there. Day two is a bitch. Day two is fucking hard, because that's the consistency. The consistency will get it. Day one, you have the picture in your mind, and doesn't matter how successful the workout was, how hard or how easy it was, you will get back and you will compare it to the picture you have in your mind, or where you think you should be. And there's no point thinking, okay, I'm going to get fit. My plan is to lose X, and you get back from your first workout, you jump on the scales and you've gained 200 grams and you're like, no, I'm out. No. So day one is easy. Once you make the decision to go get it, strap the shoes on, get it. It is the consistency that is the real killer, being able to front and do it. And you and I discussed this at length. I'm the kind of guy that needs a program, and same with nutrition. I'm going to look at something and for it to say, do this, and I will do it. To the letter, to the rep, to the minute, to the second, I will do it. And it's important too. I've had friends that have had some superb coaching, and they pushed it a little too far. I feel good this way. Today I'll do a little bit more. And then what happens is the body gets a little bit stressed, and the opposite starts to happen. The body reacts in a different way. So you've got to really be careful and mindful. Involve a professional if it's important and it helps you with accountability. Train with a buddy too, even a household member. Pull them in on your journey. If you've got a goal. This week we are going to walk a marathon, and people will go, oh no, there's no way I can do a marathon. Well, what if we break it down into X amount of Ks per day? Or if we do it over 2 weeks, let's walk 3Ks, 4Ks per day, and then complete the marathon, 42.6 kilometers, and then move on to the next goal. So we'll do it in a shorter time, and eventually our plan is to walk a half marathon in one go, 21.3K. So there are ways and means to achieve it. One of the daily D.M.Cs was about you don't have to publish it to the world. You don't have to tell the world that this is what I'm going to do, because we are, we witness the what's the word I'm looking for? Craving for validation online. Where I've completed something, and look, not that there's anything wrong with it. If you want to pat on the back, you want to put it out there and you're proud of yourself, cool. Do something 100% for you, and you'll be able to find out what that is by not even telling anyone, just doing it. And then celebrate it alone. See how you feel. The self-satisfaction that you get and the feeling you get from that is amazing. And then if you want to, after that, once you've celebrated that yourself, then put it out there. So there are some tools or things you can do just to celebrate or achieve goals a little differently, or work towards goals a little differently. And also it takes the pressure off too, because if you go, oh, I'm going to do this, and people are like, have you done it? Why haven't you done it? What's taken you so long? And then that starts to become a negative as well. So yeah, there are ways and means. I've done it recently. I wanted to climb on a bike the height of Everest, the 848 meters. So I decided to break that down over a period. And there's a climb that's 13 or 14 kilometers long in Zwift, which is the software that you can jump on your bike and it throws the hills and the trainer, and it's challenging but amazing. And so all I did was break it down. So up and down I went, up and down I went. It was 8.5 times up this climb. It took about the quickest, because I didn't want to kill myself, was about 56 minutes. The slowest was about 75 minutes, all uphill, all riding uphill to get to the top, to turn around to come back down. And of course, me being me, why would you do 8.5 times up a mountain when you can do 9? So I continued and rode to the top. It was 9,300 and something meters, 13 hours total riding. But an amazing celebration of just wanting to do a goal, not really wanting to ride 13 hours nonstop, but breaking it into components to make it achievable and still making the goal. Even when people climb Everest, right? They go to base camp, they go halfway up, they acclimatize, and then they go up, same, different. Didn't have altitude to deal with, but yeah, a ton of climbing. So there's some cool ways to do things. Think about it. Think outside of the square. Something you've always wanted to do, something you never thought you could do, something that you've seen someone do either online or a friend that's done that sounds cool. Yeah, again, there's something that you thought you'd never do is really interesting, because again, we talk about our own power to do incredible stuff. Walking a marathon is just one foot in front of the other for a long, long time. It's actually not. Yeah. It's just a long way. It's just a long way, but we're only going. It's all relative. Like I say, when you train for endurance sport and you talk about, I'm going for a run, I'm going to go out for 2.5 or 3 hours, people think you are nuts. If I say to someone, I've been for a 30k ride, which is when you're doing endurance sport, it's, and those that ride a long way or endurance athletes out there will go 30k's is nothing. But for other people, the 30 kilometers is their drive to work. And they're like, holy shit, you rode 30 kilometers? It's all relative. So the challenge is relative too. So if you want to achieve something, break it down into small bits, give yourself the confidence to know that you can achieve it. It's like trying to lift heavier weights. You do it slowly, you increase the weight, and then eventually you will get there. So break it down.
Right. And I think also, depending on how you manage yourself and how you manage your motivation, like if you, like you were saying before, either tell the world if that's what makes you get it done, tell nobody if that's what makes you get it done, join a group if that's what helps you get it done. Like whatever way motivates you, and different things motivate you in different ways. Like sometimes you want to be in a team, you want to be part of a group, you want to be part of a community. Like it could be an online community like your Zwift or freaking using any kind of app that's out there these days, where you're together and you can see your score and your tally and whatnot. It might be a training partner, but it's the beautiful thing, is that you've got access to whatever way that you prefer. There's access to it everywhere now. You can join so many different things in different ways to do it. And I think, some, like I'm at the stage where once I relocate to the new area and get settled, the gyms are open, I'm down on a crew. I'm down on getting a meathead crew of like 4 to 5 dudes that want to do the same shit as I do, and that like push each other. And if you're like, oh, I think I'm going to stay home, it's not like none of this enabling, like, oh, take a rest, mate. Nah, no rest, bro. You get your ass to the gym now. I'll pick you up. Like where you get like, because that's hard to do by yourself. And I mean, again, showing up is the easiest part for many of us. Actually, that's the easy part. Going to the gym is easy. Walking to the gym, booking a time in, but then the next level, like doing the work, can also be an easy part. But then doing the work at a desired level that's going to push you to the next level of results, that's not often the easy part. That's where you need that bro in there saying, like, mate, come on, bro, let's go. Another set, another rep, another push. And it just depends on what stage of your journey you're at. But that's at the moment, that's the exciting part for me. I want to get that accountability, the extreme accountability where no one's letting you stay home no matter what, mate. You're getting picked up and someone, I used to have to do that to clients, knock on their door at 6 a.m. and say, bro, where are you? You're not showing up, mate. I need to let's go. Get on the back of the scooter. We're off to the gym, mate. Let's go. And it's so good, eh? Like, depends on what you need and what you need at this stage, eh? You can get it. You can find it.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard training solo. And I guess I'm used to it again, going back to endurance. You get used to doing a lot of stuff by yourself, but it is still really, really challenging. Weights is one of those things, going to a gym where there's stimulus, where there's people pushing tin, picking stuff up, where there's music, where there's motivation and inspiration all around. Compare that to lockdown, which is your garage or your lounge with a couple of plates. Big change, peeps, big change.
Yeah.
But you need to find a way to make that work. And then again, so adding layers or levels of stimulation. And again, it's the online buddies to train with. Do that. If it's the music that evokes the emotion and reminds you of the gym, your favorite workout, then pump that shit loud and just get in the zone and turn that space into something a little more familiar that allows you to perform at a certain level. And the rest will be just caffeine or pre-workout. Gabazinga.
I find, mate, like, I've said it before. Last lockdown, I was big on, I had some more equipment. I borrowed some from my gym then. And, but I would do that. It'd be caffeine or pre-workout and then the whiteboard. And I'd write the whiteboard workout up in the kitchen while I'm having my coffee or whatnot. Go in the garage, music on, whiteboard up on the wall, and then you're in the zone. You're basically in the gym. Like, I mean, like we say, gym is everywhere. Right now, all the gyms are just storage facilities. They're not really a gym. It's just a place that's storing equipment because there's no people. The people make the gym become a gym. So you can make your bedroom become a gym. You can make the broken garage become a gym. It's really up to the people, eh? So, you just got to find the ways to make it feel like your space. For me, it's a whiteboard, eh? Like a CrossFitters, we're whiteboards. The whiteboard is the magic. That's where all the magic happens. And then you got to do it. Let's get to work.
I'm missing my bro Miles and the swims for sure, because the thing for me was we'd go down there and, we wouldn't really have a plan, but to go, what do you want to do? And I go, oh, mate, well, what do you do, 2100s or something? Yeah. Not even a hesitation. Yeah. Let's go. You come up with a dumb idea and then you're hoping someone will go, oh, let's not do that today. Miles, mate, is always like, yeah, let's go. So having a training buddy that's just as nuts as you are, or even a little crazier, it is so good, is awesome. Come up with some dumb ideas, do some what you term as dumb shit, and again, go back to that. Our normal, right? That how normal is actually really truly exceptional. So we're just altering our perception of what normal is, and then that becomes your new normal. People will still think you're batshit crazy, but that's okay. Hey, and going back to the freaks, man, if people are calling you a freak, it's because you're exceptional at what you're good at, and people don't understand what you're doing or how you're doing it. They don't have to. What matters is that you are doing it at a high level, and even higher than that, that you are loving it.
Oh, bro. And there's nothing better when you turn up with your partner or a training mate, and someone's always got a chip on their shoulder that day. It could be you week 1, it could be them week 2, right? Like, it just depends. And you're always like, someone might say, oh, we'll do 10 100s. And then you're like, nah, bro, we're doing 15. Like, there's always someone, that's what I love about it. That's the kind of partner you need, the one that's always ready to push you a little bit more than what you're probably prepared to do, but you just say yes. And whatever happens, you say yes. You're like, yeah, we'll do it then. And I love that. That's the beauty of training with a group or a partner. I love that shit.
Yep, and accountability in the workout and out of the workout. If you are doing weights, make sure that you minimize your recovery time or time it. I think that's a really powerful tool, eh? So that keeps you accountable. So if you look at your clock and you go, I'm going to make sure that I only take 30 seconds or a minute or 2 minutes between each set, And that is me. Put a timer on,
Yeah.
be accountable to that, because we all see people just sitting down at the gym with their phones, listening to music, sitting down for way too long. And that turns your 40-minute workout of power and execution into an hour and 10 minutes, which can drag on. And that can really dampen your motivation as well. So if you're getting workouts done quicker,
boring.
The intensity is up, that the feeling that of accomplishment when you can get in and achieve exactly the same thing, but at a higher level by just not mucking around.
Right. And the beauty of that is, I think that's where people need to look elsewhere, like for programming, because it does come down to programming. Someone who knows what you need, your time requirements, what your desired outcomes are, then you can program in a way where it's all action, but you are getting the required rest periods between each movement, etc., and muscle group. There's so many ways to do it. But if you're sitting there doing, 3 sets of 10 bench press on the barbell, and you've got the rest time, you're sitting up, you're looking at your phone during breaks, and it's just like very robotic. I mean, for anyone that I usually train, including myself, mate, supersets, monster sets, circuits, EMOMs, just so many different creative ways where you get the same amount of work done in a shorter amount of time and will still help you with your desired outcomes. It's so good. But if you just so don't fumble by yourself. If you don't know what to do, reach out to someone that can help you. And seriously, it's worth so much. Getting a training program or some coaching or anything is worth, that's what it's for. It's worth its weight in gold, eh?
Oh, some incredible coaches, some incredible trainers. They're trying to work too, so supporting them as a local business is great. But the knowledge that you get from those people, and knowledge is a gift, we know that, and the good ones will always impart knowledge and leave that with you rather than give you just enough to make sure you keep coming back. So remember, the training thing is about you. 100%, not about them. They are there to get the absolute best out of you. So find a trainer that understands and gets that and works with you towards your goal. There are some amazing trainers. There are some incredible experienced coaches. Not everyone can do it at a high level. Even athletes, some great world-class athletes will admit that I can't be a coach. I couldn't be a coach. Because they're more about themselves and they don't have the ability to articulate how to do stuff. But yeah, if you want another layer or another level, get a coach or get a crazy buddy. In Auckland, the Chunt is coming up and looking for a training crew. I would love to see you and Glenn Ostergaard train together, mate. That would be manic. That would be manic.
He's too hard out for me, mate. I need bicep curls and deadlifts, mate. I need like major meathead. Drinking protein shakes during the workouts. Yeah, boy,
there's plenty up there. I'm sure there's plenty. Mate. There's plenty of opportunities up there. And obviously you would have been up there now, just probably working out in a garage in Browns Bay. If this thing hadn't
that's right, mate. Wow, yeah, no, mate, that would have been awesome too, mate. Trust us. Yeah, that would have been very, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, but you improvise and you overcome what should have been, would have been, or could have been. Let's focus on the now. Let's focus on improving while we still have the opportunity. If there's any dead time or downtime, maximize it. Even if it's by maximizing the downtime itself. So tuning out.
I love that.
And again, there's benefit in everything that we do. You don't always have to be go, go, go. Take time to sit back, relax, and enjoy, whether it's family. Time to yourself is critically important. Decent sleep, decent food, lots of water, working out, and conversations, chatting to people, helping each other. So,
brother, that's
let's go get the weekend,
bro. It's time to rock and roll. I've got people. I'm facing this beautiful outside right now. I've got my family heads out the doorway, like giving me the old "come on, Dad!" Like
pressed up against the window.
Yeah, mate. Like, are you coming out? It's like, yeah, mate. So,
get it,
bro, that's a great spot to finish, mate. I do agree with you 100%. Anyone out there right now, if you can, get up, get outside, get some fresh air, get some vitamin D, put your face into the sun and just soak it on up. Because the gym is awesome, but to be honest, there's so many other ways to be happier, healthier, and stronger that you can do right now. And that's what we're going to go do, mate.
Yeah, bro, even if you have a corner, if you're stuck inside and the sun is beaming through, get the sun on your face, curl up like a kitty cat, just enjoy it. There's benefit in that heat and the warmth and the light. And the responsibility is ours to be better, to do better, and to look after each other. We love you guys. Thanks so much. Always for the inspiration, for reaching out to us. Keep chatting, keep talking, keep communicating. And we will look forward to catching up with you all real soon. That is episode number 27 of the DMC podcast. Out. Peace.